everybody, it's Thursday.
And welcome to this week's edition of The Night Bite.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Emily. You're so excited to be here tonight. I feel like you're cutting in. Yeah.
I'm excited for our 4-day weekend coming up. That's what I'm excited for. Let's get this week done with.
That is true. We have the regular weekend, and then with work, I guess our jobs were off Monday. And so we took off Tuesday, and I think we're going to be doing quite a bit of fishing through that whole process. So I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, hopefully. We got a little bit of errands to run, but other than that, I think the whole time's open. We've already been talking with a few folks, and between where we want to go and where other folks are, I think we can make a bunch of fishing happen.
And I feel like it's one of the first times this year that we are talking about, we have some half decent ice conditions. So I don't want to say that and have like everybody in the Midwest driving up to where I am, right? But, there's a few spots I want to hit, and maybe even some spots a little bit north of us. And it's going to be a really great time.
Well, and for us, it's going to be a cautious time, right? So we do have plenty of ice, but that being said, we just had, at our house, we had 5 inches of snow. There was reports of 6+ just north of us. So being that there was probably 6 to 8 inches of ice, I'm just really hoping that it doesn't turn into a slushy mess out there. But I'm currently looking at our temp gauge, and it's 19. So that means that stuff will be firming up. Hopefully that snow packs down and firms up with the next couple days. But yeah, we'll just have to be careful checking around out there, drilling holes, keeping an eye on things. But it should be good.
And I guess the other fun thing that we have to report on is, last week at this time we were talking about, coming up this weekend is one of those few weekends where Josh and I split up. And so that did happen. And so he did get to go fishing with a whole bunch of his work friends. And I actually always take a solo fishing mission. So Friday I went out and I had only like a half hour, and I did actually pretty great. I caught like a pretty great fish. And then Saturday, honestly, I drilled and I got skunked, except for the basin that I normally find crappies in. I found a single tree at the bottom, and you kind of got to drill in exactly the right spot. And I just took that as the win for the day, because even though I didn't catch a fish, maybe it was the wind pattern, maybe it was who knows, right? But then Sunday we came back around, and that tree that I found, I caught a fabulous fish off of it. And so if you read our post from the last day or two, and I tell a story about how I went like elbow deep into the hole, and I laugh at myself because I'm not even sure if we had that much ice at that point. But when you have a fish that's about to turn around and you are going for it, that's what you got to do. And it was a lot of fun. And we caught the fish, and you caught a fish. So
yeah.
Back to back, and that made for a great end of the weekend.
Well, and there's a few more around. They just weren't super aggressive. But the rest of the week, I was gone Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. So I was able to meet up with you Sunday morning. Friday and Saturday were great. We had, we had a bunch of flags, and it turned out that we were getting a bunch of perch. So we kind of switched our stuff over to accommodate some walleye and perch for where we were fishing. Our second day, it was a really cool bite that I don't normally get on, because it's something I kind of forget about, because I get into this deep structure basin fishing, and it kind of becomes my routine towards this time of the year. But you can't forget about that shallow perch bite, because they're going to start, hey Jeff, they're going to start going up and getting into pre-spawn, and we actually were setting our tip-ups up in like 5 feet of water. We were able to find a little bit like some sparse veg, and it was really cool because you could see down to the bottom, and you just jig around, and you didn't want to walk around, you'd scare the fish away. We kind of figured that out, just because I started catching some fish away, guys moved over, and then we stopped catching them, and then they'd come back in a little bit. So then we spread out. We didn't move. We were able to talk though. And you could jig, and they came in like 20 of them at a time. You could look down, and they're like biting at each other, and whatever you drop down there, one of them would just hit it, and then you didn't even have to reel it, just lift them out of the hole. So that was a really fun time. So if you're looking for something to try, look in that 4 to 6 feet of water, find a little bit of weeds, and yeah, you might hit that perch bite, because that's a really fun thing. Hey Joel.
That is really fun. I mean, this time of year, the whole ice season can be really fun. And I don't know, looking forward to this weekend. But one of the things that we did earlier this week is we did post about spreading the love on Valentine's Day. And so anybody who had commented on that post was eligible to be a part of a drawing. And what we do have here is a sneak peek at what that winner won. But I think honestly, we're going to announce that at the end. So you can tell there's some goodies in here, and we will show that off at the end. But that's just a sneak peek. And more to come on that.
Jeff, do we ever fish the pond in flocks? No, we haven't. We haven't fished that pond.
And it's funny because we drive past it I almost passed it. You know, I see it on the map when I drive to and from work every day. So that's funny.
Yeah.
If you have, let us know. But we are going to move on here because we could talk fishing all night, and that's what we are going to do anyways. But we are about to bring in our guests. But one of the things that maybe in a year where ice is more consistent, you hear this on Facebook, is there's always that person, and they loaded up their truck. It was late at night, you know, after a long day on the ice, blah, 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 whatever happened. They drove off. And their gear is
missing a rod box.
When they get to when they get home, when they get to their destination. So I know that people are kind of on an endless search, how to keep track of their gear. And actually this is somebody local that I ran into. And so we are going to be talking to somebody brand new tonight. How do I switch screens? Oh, I almost did it wrong.
Get out of here.
Gear Trakr. So Floyd and Christy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome.
Yeah. So it was actually kind of funny. I ran into you guys in kind of like a local forum on Facebook. And I think because maybe this product wasn't even originally intended for fishing, but we will talk a little bit about that. Before we get too far into things, can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. My name is Christy. I am obviously a wife. I am a nurse and a mother of 2 girls. And this is my husband, Floyd.
I'm Floyd. I'm a manufacturing engineer by trade, and I'm happy to be on the show to introduce our product that we have.
Awesome. And so your product is Gear Trakr. So can you tell us about what you have?
Sure. So, well, let's just start how we came about. How about that?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, our daughter was in, I think it was 2nd grade, and she came home. It was December, and of course, you're getting stuff ready for the next day, or it's usually in the early morning, whichever it be. She was missing gloves, and so I went out the next day, and I'm like, you can't not have gloves. It's December, so went out and got gloves. 3 pairs of gloves later, in that same month, I looked at Floyd and I said, I can't do this. I said, this is too expensive. It's like $50 later. And I said, we're not the only ones with this problem. I said, what is going on? And we need to like solve it because this is seriously an issue. And so we kind of sat and thought about it, and we're like, yeah, you know, there should be, and I'm sorry, but I can't pay $30 for one item to put on every single bit of clothing that my child has. So we came up with an NFC tag, an app system. So we spent the next couple of years developing the app, which I think is fabulous. And now it gives instant notification to the owner. And of course, the person reading the tag gets whatever information that the person has entered on there, the owner decides to prefers to put in, I guess you would say.
Yeah, we realize that this is perfect for schools. And then obviously outside of schools, there's so much more that can be lost and not found. You know, when it comes to hunting, fishing, all your sports
teams,
golf clubs. Everybody hates leaving losing their favorite club and never getting that back. So this can be used endless.
We're finding out there's people coming now and saying, hey, can I put this on this? And I'm absolutely, the more the merrier. Go for it.
So do you have an example of a tag with you?
We sure do. So let's just go through them quick. So we have this one, which is like we call it our, and there's 10 in a pack, and it's just like it's like a sticker. So that can go on, your laptops, I don't know, the kids are losing their mugs these days. Anything and everything, phones, whatever. Your I don't know,
Tackle box.
tackle box, your auger maybe, or depending on the size of that, and if there's room to put it on. Then we have what I think is our most versatile. It's a tiny one, and it's called our mini tag. And this one can go on like jackets, bibs, all your smaller items. It has two little different. We offer the two, and we give them in there. Different ways of connecting
There's
it.
a loop and a pole, and then one on like a zipper pole.
And then of course we have the golf tags for the golf clubs, and then we have the bigger ones. So like these are for I Vision would be on like your bags, backpacks, your sacks, your maybe your shanty, whatever that's bigger, larger, rolling out.
Your keys.
Yep. And then we offer also a variety pack. So those that are just trying them out and aren't sure what they want, they can pick from there. And then there's actually 12 in the variety pack. So
all the others come in 10-pack.
Yeah, and then we have the app, of course, that works with them, and the app we've made free. So we want organizations and whatever to be able to use it and not have problems, and people that find things to be able to just download it, get on there, and check it out.
Yep, and the app's available on Apple, your iOS,
Android.
So it works with both style phones.
Yes.
And
now, one thing to be aware of, though, when you're reading the tag, is that on the iPhone, you have to touch it to the top. And then on the Android, it's read by the middle of the back of the phone. It's all on the back, but it's the middle or the.
Yeah, it works off of your NFC technology. It's already built into all your phones.
Mm-hmm.
It's NFC. It's near field communication, so similar to your wireless payment systems on your credit cards or even your Apple Pay when you pay with your phone. It uses the technology built into the phone already, and it just takes that and it puts it into using it with a tag. And so it's a pretty simple.
You're having to take a picture, scan something in. This is just something that your phone is going to be able to then pick up.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it is, once you download the app, make sure you can see this here. We have a simple option. There's read, create, edit, write, erase, and then there's a tab here that lists all your tags. So simply put, you would go to your create tab and you choose between 3 tags: a school tag, a gear tag, which is just your common tag for your gear, and then we have one more oriented towards golf. And each of these, you fill in fields of information from your tag name, your name, your email address, your phone number. You can choose what kind of information you want to enter in. And once you enter in the information and save your tag, then all you need to simply do, I'll get a tag prepped here. I'll go to my winter jacket. But you have a tag, and you simply all you do is you click right to tag. You hold this to the back of your phone here, and then it tells you the information that's saved to the tag.
Cool. That is cool.
So
it's
really simple to use.
Jeff is asking if they're waterproof.
They are. They're waterproof. They're waterproof. I put them in the dryer. I've tested them out.
They also run through the dishwasher.
Nice.
I ran them through everything. So we wanted them to be easy enough where you don't have to take them off your gear when you're going to wash your bibs or your jacket or whatever it be. Just toss it in and go. Yep. Nothing to take off or put on.
So let's say that I drop my jacket, flies off my sled as I'm pulling it, and somebody finds it. So does the tag does it tell you like, hey, download the app or whatever, and then they can read my information
and to return me?
Yeah.
Yep. So it has obviously our name on there, so Gear Trakr, and then it says scan to return me. And so then if they go and look it up, I'm assuming they'll just see what it's all about, see that it's an app, download the app, and then hit read, and away you go.
these are kind of our first version tags, but the next version will actually have our
GearTrakr.com.
scan with our Gear Trakr app to return me.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
These do have the Gear Trakr name on it.
What's nice though is that you get an instant notification when they're read. You know that somebody has found it, and let's pray that we have more honest people than not that will return your belongings. Yeah.
And then if you are an organization, there is an option on here to enter an organization name, which works flawlessly with your golf courses or any businesses. When you do scan it with the option of the organization name, it does tell you the organization who found it. So then you may go to the organization to get
so
that.
and so has
there's some
found
privacy
your
where we don't want to share your personal information, but honestly, if you have the app and you're scanning the tag, you want to get the gear back to the other people, so the owners.
This is something. It kind of reminds me of a couple weeks ago. We talked to the UWSP Ice Fishing Club, and they had a lot of gear, they have a lot of gear. Plus, they were going to get some more gear, and I think something like all these, WIFA, the Wisconsin Intergalactic Fishing Association, all those high school teams, that would be a really good thing for them
to track their
gear.
Oh, absolutely.
Because their members and the people that participate in those clubs and those organizations, a lot of times, they're kids, gear. So they check out gear. They don't have the money to buy it all themselves. So
definitely,
the groups have gear that they can loan out to the kids, and then if the kid loses it, hopefully, they can get it back, and then it wouldn't be such a tragic situation. Learning experience.
Yes. An expensive learning experience.
Well, I was going to say, though, you were talking about you created this for, you had a child, you were losing all gloves and mittens and everything. So, have you had any success stories yet?
No, we're so new that we really haven't.
Yeah, we haven't. We've only sold a few. We're officially been launched here for like a month now. We went to a golf expo in Green Bay just last weekend, so it's fresh on the market right now.
Went to the schools, introduced it to all of them. Everyone seems very, very open and likes the idea. I've had people contact me from even from nursing homes. They're have their Alzheimer's patients that go off with their remote controls, and they don't know whose remote is whose.
That's actually really funny. That's a good way to keep track of
different things. Yeah, so I'm excited to see it put to use, because we have a lot of time in the app, and it'll be exciting to hear stories.
That is really cool. And I really like that there's all the different types of tags because that fits all of your different gear. And so if, we're talking about like your sled, you're flying around, you lose your jacket, those little like zipper pulls or however you attach that, that's like really great. But then for your shack, you hope that never falls off your trailer or something like that. But, if you have something that gets to stick right on your shack, that's something that's just kind of like an insurance policy for yourself.
Yeah.
You invest so much in your gear, and then especially a shack, you think about all the mods that people do. You spend so much time making it your own. It's not just that gear isn't replaceable, it's that like your gear isn't replaceable. And so to have a way to keep track of that, I think this is like a really cool thing that people are really going to be looking for.
I hope so.
Yeah, and what's nice about it, it's affordable. I know there's other options out there. They're a little more expensive when you pay $30 for some of your higher end items that you may want to have an item finder on. But this is very affordable. You can put on everything and anything.
Well, and I like that, you were explaining with the app that as a user, like I can choose what information that I put in there to display. And so if somebody like scans it, if I want them to see my full name and phone number, if I want to put like my nickname and whatever, email address. I mean, that's something that, you can kind of choose to do, but it's just really nice that then as the finder, you get to see some of that information, but it's not just like the app choosing like my name, phone number, address, like everything gets shared,
Correct.
it feels like safe also.
Yes. Yes, we want it to be safe, especially if you're going to be putting it on any kids' items. So, yeah.
That is super cool. And then, you were talking about all these different applications. And so, you were talking about kids gear and golf and fishing. I imagine that there's tons of people at home that are thinking of a million different ideas. And Jeff is joking, stick one to my wife when we go to the mall. Right? Like,
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
maybe not, but there's
That's an
so
awesome idea.
many other different things that we carry around with us every single day. You were talking about even like a computer, your laptop. If you're the kind of person that's traveling around, I mean, I think there's a lot of people, that are traveling for fishing, and so we talk about the gear. Maybe you're even going through an airport, and so that's just a really unique thing to be able to, again, I guess, have that peace of mind.
Yes, that's what it is all about, is the peace of mind, decreasing the stress, keeping your money.
Yeah. And so when we're talking about these tags, where can we find them? You're super new, and that's okay, but where do you get a hold of these?
I'm glad you asked. We just launched on Amazon 2 days ago, and you can also get it on geartrakr.com. And they retail for $29.99 for the 4 different tags and $34.99 for the variety pack.
Oh,
And right now during Valentine's, there's a 20% off. Love 20 coupon code. And they're also doing the 20% off on Amazon too. It's just a coupon within Amazon that you can clip and put in your cart.
The 4 different style tags, there are 10 in each pack, except for the larger pack that has the 12.
And can you show us the different styles one more time?
Sure.
Can.
This tag we're calling a classic tag. That's the one you put in your duffel bags, keychains.
That's the biggest one.
That's your larger item one. It just has a loop on it like a keychain would.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we call it our mini tag. This has the 2 varieties for attachment accessories. It has the loop and pole.
We put this one on my purse. I have it on my jacket.
And they come with
gloves,
different clips. Yeah, and the other one's just a clip on, which is nice, zipper pulls and things like that.
Yep. And then we have the sticker one, which would be great for your tackle box.
And that comes with a 3M adhesive, so it sticks.
Yes, it goes through the dishwasher just fine too. So, weather is not an issue. It'll handle the snow and the ice. Yeah.
And then it's just the other one is the golf tag.
Yeah.
And this one's created with the NFC technology. It requires a ferrite layer, which helps it read was put on metal, and it's made to be curved in the surface. I've had it on my clubs for a year now, and it works great.
Nice.
Oh wow! Even on a curved surface, I guess I didn't even consider that.
It's been on there for a long time.
But it's like almost a piece of technology in there, and so it's almost like it got to be thick enough, right? But it's like a sticker, and so that's just interesting that it is flexible. That's just great.
Yeah,
we had a couple different iterations of that one.
To find out, what was all necessary to make it actually work and function both at the same time.
So you guys said that you went over to the Golf Expo over in Green Bay. So how was it received over at that expo? Like, did people come and stop by and chat with you? What was that like?
Very well. It was we asked, we just kind of asked them, how many clubs are we talking here? And some of them, it was
and they're lost and found at the pro shop.
400 a year, 400 plus.
Wow.
And I said, well, what do you do with all? That's crazy. And that's a lot of money. And, thankfully they keep them for as long as they can, but then they usually donate them at the end of the year to schools or, other functions that could use them. Like even maybe colleges, like how Point was talking the other week with you guys and, has gear that kind of gets handed down in a way.
And they had questions about
Mhm.
them being an organization, like, well, what would we have to do? Almost like,
How much is this going to take
yeah,
of
what
our
is,
time?
and we showed them how easy it is just to scan the tag, and it sends the owner notification that, let's say, Very Good Golf Course has found your pitching wedge, and that's all the course has to
That
do.
you don't have to call, you don't have to nothing. They'll be showing up
The
for
owner
their
gets a
club.
notification, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God," or they may not even know they lost it yet.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that's actually crazy. That's a good point. They
So
might
it-
not even know.
So is the app free on the iStore and
It is free. There's no cost. There's no subscription or anything like that. You can go download the app right now without even purchasing your tags. Technically,
Yep. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Got any tips? That'd be great too.
That's awesome, because it's something I think that people might not realize, but might be something, especially with our higher end gear now. There's a lot of turnover. So back in the old day, like you wouldn't keep your stuff as long, or it would wear out faster. And now, like we're paying upwards of $1,000 for a jacket and a bib combo. And so you can wear that for a few years, and if you want to upgrade, you can sell that for 50% of its value still. And
Awesome.
so having something like this, though, you could erase your information when you go to sell it to somebody. You can tell them, "Hey, download this app. Here's how you put your information, and now it's yours." And so part of that is
Yes,
a
you can,
selling
because you
point.
can rewrite them. Mm-hmm.
So
You can
that
pass
that
them
would be
down.
really cool.
there's another very cool feature about it is once you write your information to the tag and you clip it on your gear, it's saved in our database, and all you have to do, let's say you made a mistake and you needed to update something, or maybe you wanted to change the name, or you can just do that on your phone, and you don't have to go back to all your gear and rewrite all the information to your gear.
You just do
Once
it.
you change it on their app and save it, it automatically is saved to the tag. Because technically, when you read the tag, it's pinging our database and pulling the data from our database.
And so when somebody, the phone you scan it in with, that you pair it with, is going to be the only phone that can update or edit that data, right?
That is correct.
Well, yeah.
So somebody
You
can't
have the
find
app
it
on your
and then-
phone. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
No, that's really awesome. I think that's
You can read the tag, but it's all you can do. If you're a non-owner of the tag, you can read it, but you cannot edit it.
cool.
And let's say that you decide that this is a product that's for you, and you decide to sticker and tag one of everything in your life. Is there a bank or a limit to how many, tags you can have in your app?
Absolutely not. It's endless. And that's what's neat about writing to the tags as well. It's unlimited, so you could write, erase, do whatever you want to it, a million times.
If
It's
you wanted to take your coat and pass it down to your kid the next year, you can just change over the name on edit the tag, and good to go.
That's awesome. So I mean, I guess I am also thinking about, your story and how you started. And I have to ask, you set out to solve a problem. And that is awesome, because I think so many people, I guess in the angling world, they see an opportunity, they want to solve a problem.
For sure.
But for so many people, that means like sitting at home and tinkering around. Do you guys have technology backgrounds that you were able to just come up with the app? Or I mean, like, can you give us a hint about how that worked for you?
It was a really long process. It was
Making an app to anybody. Yeah.
our idea started just before COVID hit, and we had waited a while just to see how all that was going to unfold.
Yeah, and we took a business course
And we took a
at the
business
tech here in
course.
town. So I would recommend that to anybody that's starting to or looking into doing something with one of their ideas, to go take that business course that the college offers, and it was very helpful.
And from that, we created our business plan, and then it made sense after all that this is something we wanted to continue to look into. And
yeah, and then of course we had to look
one
up.
day says, well, we can do this or not, and so we dove in, and that was 2 years ago. So it's been in development for quite some time.
Yeah, and then we had to, of course, have find an app developer, and pick that, and then every day back and forth changes, and
Quite a long process, but
and then you have to test everything out. Nobody's testing that out for you, so we're there every night testing it out because we want it to work and we want it to work seamlessly.
it seemed like thousands of different
Oh my
tweaks and
gosh.
changes back and forth.
Just the simplest
And
things too.
it's hard too having somebody else working on your product, and the vision isn't quite the same. They can't quite envision what
Mhm.
what you're trying to set out to do. But
Well,
we're here
it's
now,
cool
and we're
because
finally launched, and we're so happy.
Yes. Very
But
well,
now
it's
our
cool
next,
because when
they're
you
starting
get
our
your
new, our
product,
marketing campaign, more or less.
What's that?
but when you get it out in the end, I mean, that's like really, I don't know, that is really such a cool thing.
It is. It's fun. I look forward, like I said, we look forward to seeing it put to use and to hearing,
Those stories,
those stories. Yes,
the
I can't
reviews
wait to
and
hear stories.
someone saving, things, something that was lost and then was returned. And yeah, we're looking forward to those stories from people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when you have an app that's easy to use, and I think people are like, oh, that must mean that it was easy to create, and so to be here and share that story and share that experience, I mean, I think that's really important for people because, especially in the age of technology and everyone's like, make it an app, like everything is like so easy. And I think people don't realize how small some of the fishing industry is, and so many more of these companies are small companies and identify with you guys like more than maybe you realize. And so I love when people are able to help and spread that story.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, and shout out to the local community and the colleges and the courses and the things that people are able to take because I think
Mhm.
I think that's something that people oftentimes forget about. They're like, I'm forging new ground. Nobody's done what I've done. And it's like, yeah, that's the point of businesses. So I mean, again, great reminder to reach out to your community and see what's already out there.
Well, and I think Emily pulled it up a little bit ago, but Misty was saying that she loves this and it's very much needed in with the fishing gear. So she said, "Great idea, guys." So,
We're excited to hear.
we might have to see you guys at some fishing expos, I think.
Oh, I would love to. Absolutely.
Shameless plug. 1 week from now, we are going to be talking actually about the Wisconsin Fishing Expo. That's going to be coming up in Madison, not this weekend, but next weekend. And I would tell you guys to come and to sign up, but I'm going to be honest with you, those booths are filled up.
But I would
A lot of
definitely,
that.
if you guys do have time, or if anybody watching has time, definitely stop down there. If you guys do come down there, get a hold of us. You have our contact information. We'll be there all weekend, and we can do some introductions because those people also run the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo in December
in Oshkosh.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
so we can introduce you to some people down there that they have a very similar story to you. You guys would have so many friends down there. You get so much to talk about. This is something that we find a reoccurring theme within our small community as an angling community, is that people come up with ideas and they are just they're just like you and me, and they don't have a background in it, or they just want to start on it. And the only difference between a common person, a consumer, and a business person is the business person stuck with the idea and made it happen. That's the only difference. And
Right.
so like all these people, it's so cool when they all these people get together. I'm speaking very passionate about this because Emily and I really love the expos, and it's I always talk about the energy, like the passion is always there, and it's because of people like you. All of the vendors and all of the people there are all have similar ideas, and they all like to talk to each other, and there's just so much. If people, it's funny because if the consumers went in there and they just like slowly walked around and didn't look at stuff but just listened to conversations, it's just vendors talking across aisles, just talking like about stories and this and that and what's going on. It's so cool. So
like you said, it's like a community,
Yeah.
another family,
Yeah, it is.
It's very cool.
Oh my goodness.
So when do you sign up for those normally? Probably in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, there's some different timelines, and we can get you guys some more information.
Yeah, that would be
But
great.
yeah, for now,
We'd
it
appreciate
would.
that.
I think it would be really cool. You know, it's not that for us up here. It's only like a 3-hour drive down to Madison.
Yeah.
So if you have time, it's definitely worth going. It's a great show at the Alliant. We'll be talking about it the whole show next week. We'll be going through ins and outs. We'll be going through some of the vendors that might be there, and just maybe even going through our packing list, because we'll be packing as we're doing the show almost, because we have to head out.
Are you going to do some fishing while you're down there, I assume?
Oh, we don't have any time for that. It's all business. But we'll be running around giving away prizes, doing live streams, talking with different people around the show. So it's always a fun time.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
Wes,
we'll have to take a ride, hey?
Yeah.
Wes was checking in saying he needs 2, one for his phone, one for his beer. Both get lost easily. Wes, the best news
Oh,
is
boy.
I heard that they're sold in kits of 10.
Yeah. I ain't getting no 12-packers. We do have
Can you buy them in bulk? No. Oh my goodness. So for the people who are now excited, let's do like a quick little rundown. So you get the tags, and as the user, as the owner of the product, you can put yourself, your information, whatever you choose, into the app and attach the tags to your gear. If somebody finds it, they can scan it, and either their information is sent to you or they can reach out to you based on the information that was sent. And then those people are going to be excited and probably get gear tags too. What
That's
did
right.
I miss?
And the owner gets a notification. That's the other cool thing about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then where do you get the tags? Remind us that also.
GearTrakr.com.
GearTrakr.com. And just live on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
2
We know our
days ago.
Tristan likes Amazon, so that's your thing. Go for it.
And again, there's 20% special going on right now on
Mhm.
both stores, our Gear Trakr, our home site, GearTrakr.com, and Amazon.
Nice.
Perfect. And then I think that I try to type it in for people at home. And so the website Gear, GEAR, Trakr, TRAKR.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I know Amazon does not like that it wants to correct it every time I type it in there. So if you search lost and found tags, I think it is,
Yes.
it'll come up. Yes.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
It wants to correct us every time we type in Gear Trakr.
That is super cool. Awesome. So I know that we are definitely going to be looking that up. And I know that a bunch of people at home are too.
Mhm.
And then we're definitely going to connect with you about some expos and stuff, because I know that there are people that are going to want to see this. But thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us tonight and talk about all of this.
Thank you so much for having us. We
Yes. Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Yeah. And before we leave everybody, we did say that we were going to do our giveaway at the very end of the show. So if you were tuning in for our giveaway, what we do have here, I always do terrible with this left, right, backwards thing in the camera. It is a Lakewood. I always forget what we call this.
That's the treasure chest.
The treasure chest.
Yeah.
But it fits in a bucket, like perfect. And you can put your fish in there and anything that you catch, rinse them off. You're not getting all sloppy and slimy. This fits right in your bucket. It's great. This is great. I
Great.
love these.
Yeah.
We do also have here a striker hat and a pair of warm socks. And actually, I pulled somebody right before the episode here. Honestly, I wrote everybody down from number 1 to whatever, how many comments there were. And I rolled, I think it was number 23. And so, Becky Ann, you are our winner. I'm going to reach out to you on that original post. And then also probably post it at the top of that post so that people know to, I don't know, it's closed out. But thank you for tuning in and thank you for playing. And Becky, we will get this sent out to you guys. And that was a whole lot of fun. So, Becky, if you're watching, I don't expect that, but congratulations. And we will be in contact soon. For everybody that didn't win, I know that we're going to do more of that in the future. Sometimes we just do random giveaways, so stay tuned. And otherwise, for this episode, Floyd and Christy, thank you again so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. And to the people at home, thank you guys for being here as well, because that is always a big part of the fun. And looking forward to seeing you on next week's edition of The Night Bite.
Night, everybody.